Okay, now, that better be the last time you painter guys ruin my live stream. This time, they blew a circuit with their electricity hogging paint spraying gun or whatever. Oh. Well, we only have one extension cord. I'm gonna have to go look in the pod for extension cords? And then I looked in my tool bag, and there's this horrible jigsaw. It fooled me twice into thinking it was an extension cord. First I'm like, there's no extension cord in this tool bag. And there should be. Like, where else did you gotta put an extension cord there? Play with your tools, dummy. Like, wait, no! There's an extension cord in here. It's orange. It's clearly an extension cord. Of course, my tool bag's packed so terribly that I can't get it out of there. It's a small tool bag. I say, all these hammers and everything out of there. And I'm like, you're not an extension cord. You're this fucking jigsaw's regular cord that for some fucking reason is orange like an extension cord. I was this close to just throwing that jigsaw away and just saying, just get out of here with your wrong colored cord. I was like, oh no. Now what am I gonna do? I don't know which of these boxes the extension cords are in. And then, hold on a second. Are they in this box right in front of me? How could that be? These are the cords, they have to be buried under shit tons of stuff. It's the Eric way, you know. Instead, I was like, I think they're in this box right here. It's right in front of me. And they were. Look at all of these extension cords. Oh man, look at this one. And I was like, wow, this looks like a fancy extension cord. It's all yellow. It's got all these things on it. Look at this one, wow. Okay. Oh. Now I have to shove it back in here. The good news is, I did such a shitty job of packing these extension cords that well, they were never anything but just shoved in there anyway, so that's the good news, you know? That is the good news. That's why, whenever packing things into a box, always do a shitty job. That way, when you take something out of the box, it's easy to put back in. You just put it in the box the same way you put it in the first time. You just shove that fucking shit in there until it goes. You know? I don't care if there's any fries in this box. Just get in the fucking box already. You know? Anyway, first of all, I had a wonderful experience outside. First it was a horrible experience. And then it was a wonderful experience. I'll tell you about it right now. I was out there with my wrist jacket on my hand, looking for extension cords. Like this. That is how I look for extension cords. With this on my hands, of course. And lo and behold, who should appear on my lawn but a little flock of peacocks. And they're like fantastic. Because as I was walking to the pod, I had these 2 pennies with me. I was like, I'm gonna shoot these fuckers with a penny, you know. Pow! And then, guess what happened? I was looking for extension cords. And a peacock showed up. And I cannot find my 2 pennies anywhere. I just had those 2 pennies. I literally had them in my hand before I opened the pod, ready to shoot a peacock. And now I have no pennies. So, I went back inside after I got these. I showed it to the guy, so I said, I heard a bunch of extension cords. Which one should I use? I was like, this one? That one? How about just this little small one right here? I'm like, that's a good choice. Oh, you take that one then, yeah. Yeah, it's all that with that thing, and the bar circuit, driving down the road, what a TE shot, y'all. A little bit. I mean, yeah, enough to really enjoy what I did after. I came back in here, I got another penny. I went out there, and they weren't even by my house anymore, you know. I was like, I don't even care if you're by my house. I'm gonna shoot you because you're fucking horrible. And I got my penny. I was like not very far from it, like maybe like 10 feet away. Yeah. But I missed. I was like, oh. Am I gonna have to go inside again to get another penny? I should have brought more than one penny with me. But then it occurred to me, Eric, you should just get a rock. So I got a little rock. And I was like, this time, I'm definitely gonna hit you. I was like, pow! And I did hit it on the leg, though. And it was like, squawk! And flew away. It was so satisfying. Like, yeah. That's what you get, you horrible chickens. I'm a lot less likely to break this than I am the Pelican. I've been lamenting having broken that air pistol because I wanted to shoot the peacocks with it so badly. I almost considered going and getting another air pistol just so I could shoot peacocks with it for the duration of my stay here. And I thought, hey, This is right here in my showcase. It's not even in the pod. I'm gonna just shoot the peacocks with this. It's not as fun as shooting them. Well, not recently, CJ. On our way back, well, it depends what you mean by reason, On our way back from Portland, the last night that we had in the hotel, the day of that last night, about 2 ounces of mushrooms, including 1 ounce of the strongest mushrooms I could possibly get, called Ghost Pea, and another that I stupidly got because I wanted a different kind. I didn't want to get all the same kind. I got another weaker kind called Loving Chickens. Nobody loves those chickens. They're just way too horrible to love. It's called Loving Teacher, right? Then, when I got back here, I remember I went to the Madonna Inn that day, whatever that day was. It was like a week or 2 ago, Okay. When I got back here, I bought a 1/3 ounce of mushrooms. So, between like December 10th and now, let's say, approximately somewhere in there, I bought 3 ounces of mushrooms. We have 0 mushrooms left. And it's only December 22nd. So in 2 weeks, approximately, Rachel and I, but almost all me, okay? Rachel doesn't eat that many mushrooms. Ate 3 ounces of mushrooms. Because I was like, I just cannot wait. I cannot wait. Yeah, I tried to take all the rest of the mushrooms, leave none for Rachel. Because I'm that awful. But I got super grossed out by them this morning. It's like, they're always gross, but it depends. It's like, first thing in the morning before you even had a cup of coffee, and you're trying to wash them down with water like I was doing. Oh my God. I just couldn't quite finish them all. I was gonna just puke. So then when Rachel's like, are there any mushrooms left? I was like, actually there are. And it's just about probably the right amount for you. Maybe a little too few, but not by much, It depends, right? It's like, the other thing is these good mushrooms we got at the store in NorCal, they taste less bad than the mushrooms I get from my local dealer. But they're still gross. But it depends when you eat them. Like I said, it's like, if you're distracted by something while you're eating them, those mushrooms we got from the store, they're kind of just like gross chips, Chips made out of yams or something. Okay. Just because you don't like the taste of mushrooms is not a reason to be cautious to take them. Oh my God. Medicine's not supposed to taste good. But there are ways to make them taste like not a problem at all. Even super gross ones. If you eat them with matcha tea, it's amazing. I've never experienced, I never would have dreamed that anything could make mushrooms taste good. But I shit you not, if you're eating mushrooms and you take a mouthful of matcha tea, all of a sudden you're at breakfast eating a bowl of shredded wheat. It tastes exactly like that. It's like matcha tea doesn't by itself taste like shredded wheat. Mushrooms definitely don't taste like shredded wheat. But when you combine the two of them, ta-da! All of a sudden it's a cereal bowl full of milk and shredded wheat. I mean, mushrooms are such a shitty psychedelic drug that I had to eat 3 ounces of them in 2 weeks. I mean, talk about a weak sauce psychedelic drug. Mushrooms are such a weak psychedelic drug that they make me want to take acid. And I don't like taking acid, but it's like, you know, I want steak. Well, this is a piece of fish shaped like a steak. Yeah, the best way to eat mushrooms, CJ, is for your very first time, follow Ruben's advice, okay? What I want you to do is make him a milkshake, but don't make it into a milkshake. Make it into a matcha tea shake, okay? I want you to put 2 full ounces of the strongest mushrooms you can into the blender you can find, okay? Blend it all together with matcha tea. And I want you to drink all of that as your first mushroom experience. Then maybe your caution would be justified. Like, the way you're talking about mushrooms and thinking about it, CJ O'Connell, it's like, okay, well, you should be like that if your plan is Ruben's plan or nothing. Then you should be thinking like that. If you are even a little bit not insane, then your caution regarding mushrooms is silly. Mushrooms are harmless. Even people who don't like them, they just have a bad experience. It lasts 5 hours or whatever. Well, you know, Ruben, that's a good thought. I'll just enjoy this instead of not enjoying it. It's an excellent thought for somebody who's got very unconscious FI. Mac Day's like, that's what any sane person would think, Robert. Most FI polar thing in the world, Mac Day. Obviously, you can't decide whether you enjoy something. Only an bipolar person that's that. I used to say shit like that to my ex-wives. You say you're unhappy, Sounds to me like you're just making a bad decision. It's like, okay, well, if you're going to decide to be unhappy, I'll just decide to be, I don't know, pouty. Oh, now I'm pouty. There, now we both made terrible decisions. It's like, oh my God. How bipolar could you possibly get? Oh, you're talking about SI enjoyment. Well, that's even more impossible to decide. That's way impossible to decide. You cannot decide to like something to taste that you don't like. Gross thing, you cannot decide you like eating potato bugs. So, I used to hate eating potato bugs, and I realized I'm just making a poor decision. I'm going to decide that I love eating potato bugs. Now, I can't get enough of them. They're so filled with gross slime. They're like it's like okra and disgusting had a baby. And its baby was a potato bug. Okra. Like, who wants to eat okra? Ugh. Mac Daddy, what you're really saying is I can deep throat like nobody's business. That's what you're really saying. But if you really want to brag about your ability to deep throat, you better be comparing yourself against Sasha Grey. There's no possible way that any number of men, no matter how massive their dongs are, can defeat Sasha Grey. It's like, she could have like 40 horse cocks down her throat at the same time. Zero gag reflex. Speaking of horse cocks, I was reminded this morning of, I was thinking about, again, Louis C.K.'s weirdness, you know, like, hey girls, hope you don't mind. I'm going to be masturbating into this plant near you. Like, what? But, I gotta tell you this. It made me think of an old friend of mine named Joey. Joey was one of the students I had in my class when I was a special ed teacher with the profoundly retarded people, you know. Many of them were non-ambulatory. Couldn't feed themselves or were in wheelchairs or something. Not Joey. Joey was walking around just fine. Fed himself like this. You know. But was also hung like a horse. Okay. And continually walking around the school masturbating. And making all the male teachers in the place feel really bad about themselves. I was like, God, why would you give this retard such a huge dog? Meanwhile, I just have a regular one. What's going on here? And it's like, if you're gonna have a huge dog, you always have to have it out and be like, look how big and erect it is while I stroke it. Why? I was so jealous. Of all the retards I've ever known, he was the retard I was most jealous of. Eventually I came on the rock, I was like, God, can you take your masturbating huge dick jelly back to your room, Eric? He's out again. Right. Like Candace, my second wife, was a assistant. I always gave her the worst jobs. It's like, you deal with Joey, and you deal with this other super gross kid, and I'll deal with the easy stuff. Well, if I know I was gonna marry her, I'd be like, whatever you do, don't look at Joey's dick. Because then you're not going to be very impressed by mine. That's the trade-off. You can have your 6-foot penis, but you'll be stupid as a rock. I always say, look, ladies, I want you all to look at a lot of ancient Greek statues. They set very reasonable expectations. Yeah. Who really wants a man with a 6-foot penis as their lover? And what I was thinking is like, there's no way, if I had Joey's dick, I'd be like, well, I guess there just ain't no such thing as balls deep, you know? You're never gonna get that whole thing into anything. I'm surprised your mother could give birth to you with that massive dong. Well, I can assure you, giving birth to you is a very painful experience, as would having sex with you be. Poor Eric. He has to have just a regular penis. You know how much I hate mediums. You know, it's like, medium? Look, you're either very small or massive. That's it. I don't want any medium-sized dicks. Horse almost or something? What did he say? Is he talking about my penis? Derek, would you please send me a dick pic on my phone? Was that Horse Mumbler's comment? The acid jump starts the metabolic process. Okay. I'm sorry, first of all, that's not a good way to talk me into bed. You are failing to seduce me with that kind of talk. You gotta tell me I'm pretty. You gotta tell me I got hot tits. You are pretty. You have hot tits. I am yours. That's how to seduce me, horse mover. I just gave you the magic key to seducing Eric. Oh, Eric, you're so pretty and your tits are so hot. It's like, have at it. Have motherfucking at it. All holes. Even holes that you can't possibly put anything in, like my belly button. Just fuck it. Just fuck the hell out of that. Because I'm pretty. I got hot tits. What more can a girl ask for? Oh, from the stream that got cut off. Right. Well, I was about to tell you about Eric, just the classic, the most classicest Eric move ever. So classic. Oh my God. This is an Eric move so classic that it requires a visual aid. So, well, actually, it requires another visual aid as well. Eric, horrible together. Okay, so in the kitchen, there are these things that are this size, 2 by 3. Okay, of course, it's all old and yellow. Of course, I hired the handyman presumably to fix all of this stuff. He didn't do the kitchen. And I paid him already. It's like, oh God. I'm supposed to make these things that are not 2 by 3. Of course, they're not that size. They don't come in that size. They are, of course, 2 by 4. So I have to chop it. I have to chop it to the right size. I'm like, well, how do you? I asked the guy. The guy's a really helpful guy at Home Depot. I was like, well, how do I make it the right size, though? And he's like, oh, there's a tool for that. A tool? Okay, well, that sounds easy. I just use that tool, the right tool for the right job, and it just works no problem. Really easy. I'll buy 3 of these wrong size things. I just use this right size thing as the model. And I just use that tool, I just cut them, and I just put them up there. No problem. Wow. It sounds a lot easier than that. A lot easier. So, the key thing is, I thought at the Home Depot, I'm like, maybe get a 4th one, Eric, because you might mess one of them up. And after I messed the first one up, I was like, damn, Eric, you should have gotten 4 of them. Then you wouldn't have this problem, and you wouldn't have to go back to Home Depot. But then I proceeded to mess the second one up, and the third one. So I would have had to buy 6. And in fact, if I had bought 6, I would have messed up all 6 of them. Because because Cameron hadn't been over yet, you know? Cameron hadn't been over yet. Cameron got here and I'm like, oh, Cameron, I didn't know they got your hair. Oh, I don't know how to do this. It's so hard for me. It's like, it didn't even occur to me until the third one that I was scoring it on the wrong side. It's a lot easier if you score it on the flat side than on the bumpy side. And even when I scored it on the right side, I still broke the fucking thing. And Ken was like, well, you can't do it like that. Here, I have a solution for you. I will go get it from your car and leave it here for you so that next time you go get $40 worth of stupid plastic things, you don't ruin them all. And he's like, look, you need these 2 woods? You don't want a big, I'm like, why could you use this box like that? You don't want a big board, Eric. That's too much board. You just want these boards and these things, and you'll be just fine. And then you clamp it here, you score it against this bottom piece of wood, and then you move it over a little bit, and you break it against the wood like that, you know? That way, when you're scoring things, you have this, you just go along this thing, right? Unlike me, trying to use this scoring tool freehand. I used one of the grout lines on the kitchen counter as my guide to go, oops, oh, oops, oh, and like, I would never come up with this solution. I didn't even have these kind of clamps. I was like, don't worry about it, Cameron. I've got boards that could break it against. Now you explain it to me. I got these big shelves outside that work just fine. Like, Eric, you don't want a big ass board that is bigger than you need. You want these things. I'll leave them here with you. And then, despite my providing detailed instructions and all of the tools, you still manage to fuck up 3 more of them. I will come over and do it for you. Yeah. Yeah, well, but Santi's FE Polar doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. Only an FE Polar person could type CJ as FE Polar. Seriously, it's like the only human beings in the world who would ever type CJ as FE Polar are INTJs and ISTJs. And the only human beings who could make that fucking horrible of an FE read. Well, Raymond, that's a good strategy for you. It's such a better approach to things. Instead, what I do, I have this great strategy. I repeat to myself in my head, all day, every day, all the things I've got to do. It doesn't require me to write them down. It just requires me to waste a substantial amount of my day thinking about it. You know, SI4, SI4 is just like, why are you even here? Just go be unconscious and then be that shitty. Why do I just be unconscious? Why do I just inline my conscious knowledge function? Because SI, or you're doing a shitty job. I can't even remember how to play my own songs. Oh yeah, I know, Rachel. Rachel is surrounded by people that she has to respect but doesn't like. What a horrible situation. Because, of course, while I'm not a fan of TE domes personally either, the alternative is for me to know what I'm doing. And that's never gonna happen, so I mean, the problem with Eric's are that they do things like buy 3 plastic things, figure out they're scoring it on the wrong side on the 3rd one, and still break that one too. Or like the time I got the wrong size toilet seat. And then it annoyed me a little bit. And it's difficulty of getting out of the box. So I just like, I destroyed the fuck out of the box. Put the toilet seat on, even though I already can see and know it's not the right size. But now that I just tried the box, it better be the right size. You go on the toilet and you just be the right size. I can see with my eyes you are not the right size. But I'm gonna put you on the toilet anyway. Because it would be so much better if you were the right size. And then I look at you and go, now I have to take you off the toilet because you're totally the wrong size. And I can't possibly return you now. There's no possible way to return you. The good news is, we eventually realized it was the right size for a different toilet. It got like, maybe like a month to realize, hey, you know what? This seat is not just this useless piece of trash that we're holding on to because it costs money and we can't return it and we don't know what to do with it. Hey, this is gonna fit on the front toilet. I'll just change that toilet seat. Well, does that toilet seat need being changed? It doesn't matter. It does, but it doesn't matter because now I have something to do with this fucking toilet seat has been leaning against the wall, making fun of me every time I walk past it. It's been mocking me. Every time I walk past this toilet seat, it says, "Oh, hey there. Remember when you bought me? Even though I was the wrong size? Then destroyed the box?" Yeah, I remember you, toilet seat. I remember you. Well, I didn't until I saw you again, because I decided to, for some reason, to put it leaning against the wall where I see it every time I go from the bed to the bathroom and back again. I'm trying so hard to forget about you, and yet I'm leaving you someplace makes it impossible for me to forget about you. Well, that's just the Eric way. You know, it's all stuck windows and stupidity. Doesn't it just seem that way though? It's like, I need one window to open. Every other window in the whole house opens fine. The one window I need to open is stuck as though it were not even a window, that it were some kind of art joke where somebody put in the architecture something that looks just like a window that can open, but is not actually a window you can open. CJ, will you stop with your, what's happening? What's happening? I already told you what type you are. You're whatever type I say you are. Right now, I'm saying you're an inch piece. You just fucking deal with it. I know. You've got decades of broken plastic things ahead of you. I wouldn't want that fate either. You've got decades of thinking because you don't have a penny with you that you can't shoot a peacock with a wrist rocket, even though the bullets for wrist rockets are obviously rocks. And there are plenty of them lying around you. You've got decades of that in front of you. And it's horrible. It's the worst horribleness ever. CJ is an ENTP who refuses to get typed because he doesn't want confirmation of that fact so that he can continue to mew and meow about what type he is. I believe Rachel pronounced CJ somebody who likes to talk about himself and is very good at it. I think she used some sort of astrology thing or something to diagnose him as such. Yeah, I mean, you're an interesting topic of conversation, CJ. I like talking about you. I don't like talking about what type you are, because, after all, I've already told you what type you are. And the idea that anybody would listen to anybody who disagrees with me about typology is just fucking ridiculous. Like, whoever else is saying, like, well, I think Eric's wrong, you're this type. Even if they're correct that I'm wrong and you are that type, you are incorrect to listen to them. because it's like, even though sometimes I'm wrong and other people get it right, like, Amy's kind of spookily good at catching my mistakes, but as an ESFP should be. Um, but still, nevertheless, in every single conceivable instance, it's always the right decision to go with what I say over what anybody else says. Because everybody else is so much less knowledgeable and correct about carbon punctures than me. Like, mountains less. It's not, notice I don't say that about debate stuff. There's a lot of people who are experts on what kind of argument this is, what kind of argument that is, etc. A lot of people say they were experts on that kind of stuff. And the thing is, it's easy to therefore there's no conflict about it, right? Because you ask any expert in debate, they'll all give you the same answer about what kind of argument this is, what it's doing, etc., right? They'll all give you exactly the same answer. Because there's not this massive commitment to wrongness about that there seems to be in typology. It's like, I don't want to know what's correct no matter what. We have to be incorrect about that. God damn it, I hate it so much. Oh, God damn it, explaining things to me, I hate him. That's typology, right? And typology is really either people are so uninformed they've never even heard of me, or they hate me, or they're one of the few smart people who are here. That's typology in a nutshell. One guy's right, everybody else hates him, or has never heard of him. Oh no! The reason I can't find my cigarettes is because I don't have any! Ow! Story of my fucking life, right? It's like, I looked through this horribly packed toolbox for a fucking extension cord with a whole box full of extension cords right in front of me. How much time am I going to look for my cigarettes before I get to accept that I don't have any cigarettes? That's why I cannot find them. I've got to go to the store. You guys are just going to have to entertain yourselves for a little while. I'll be back in a second. I'm not door dashing myself cigarettes because, you know why? It's not because I'm like, oh no, I don't want to waste money, although I don't. It's because it would take longer for them to get here than if I just go to the store myself. And cigarettes, it's important to get them now. It's like, it's not like food. I'm starving, but I have to wait 30 minutes to get it anyway, or I drive there and have somebody else bring it to me. Cigarettes, we're not fucking around. I need cigarettes. But when I want them to do, right now, not 5 seconds from now. I'll be back, you guys. Well, I'm back. Yet another experience where something irritated me. So I was driving all the time at the Tiger test. And there was a person. I was like, you can always turn right here, you know? And I kept being like, no, this space between cars isn't big enough. No, that space between cars isn't big enough. Oh, I'm so scared to go. Oh, you fucking, you better go. I'm gonna honk at you. Your stupid car is named after my street. Armada. Your car's not an Armada. There's not even one ship, let alone a whole bunch of ships. Your car, its name is a lie. So finally I humped him and I was like, give me a go, you fucking people! I finally got it. I started saying, your car is named after my street! I yelled at them. And then I got to the gas station. I was like, oh my God, it's right! Oh no, walk into my life! Hi, can I have 2 packs of Marlboro Reds, please? And I got back out to the car and I was like, oh my God, it's all right! And that's my funny story. Wasn't it hilarious? Everybody laughed so much. You guys were just like laughing so hard, you ceased to be able to chat with each other. Like, thank God Eric's back. Because there's just nothing that substitutes for that pure hilarity of his story. I mean, first, he was mad at a car for not turning right. And then he bought cigarettes. And then he was mad at his nose for running too much. Hilarious. Anyway, what's a really interesting 3-episode, like, it only had 3 episodes. So I don't know what you call that. Is it like too long for a movie? So they just made it into a 3-episode you know? Anyway, it was called, it's called Sasquatch. But it's a 3-episode. Right, it's a 3-episode. And it's about, it was a documentary made by this investigative journalist who's done a lot of, like, before Vice ever existed, that was his shit, you know? He was Vice. He'd go, like, well, he said in the things, like, I don't know, criminals think just take one look at me and know I'm just as crooked as they are. Just bet something about my face or whatever. Anyway, he infiltrated like white nationalist things, wrote articles on it, infiltrated like heroin dealing cabals and wrote stories on it and shit. And he has a long and impressive history as an investigative journalist, right? But back in '93, he was doing work in the Emerald Triangle, as they call it in California, which is Humboldt County, Mendocino County, and I forget the last county. Anyway, so there's another county there too. But back in '93, he was, doing investigative journalism up on Spy Ridge Road, which in Humboldt County is famous for being where you don't want to accidentally make a wrong turn and go up Spy Ridge Road, because it's all like super militarized weed growers. And a section of that mountain there is controlled by the Hells Angels, or it was in '93, But anyway, he was doing investigative journalism. He was hanging out with tweakers, meth addicts who were also weed growers, And he was hanging out one day with like this kind of like main guy, and two of his underlings come in, clearly deeply traumatized, saying that these three Mexican nationals that they had positioned at this one grow site so that, like basically it guarded or whatever, maybe water it or something, I don't know, but I think had gone there. These two guys had gone there to check on them, and had found the three Mexicans' bodies torn apart, and all the weed plants, or a lot of the weed plants, were like pulled out and knocked over and shit. But it clearly wasn't a theft because they didn't take the weed, right? And the guy, one of the tweakers who reported this, because the two guys were tweakers too, said Sasquatch had to do it. It's like Sasquatch, only Sasquatch could possibly have done this. And the investigative journalist was like, they may have been tweakers, but this guy was clearly deeply traumatized by what he had seen. And convinced that Sasquatch had killed these three Mexicans, So it was a rather fascinating 3-episode series. And in the end, well, I don't know if you want me to tell you what happens or not. Okay, go like this if you don't want to know what happens. This is what they call spoiler alert. That's what they call it. Spoiler alert. So, Luda Faye's story seems a little more, yes, Rachel's mom's in South Carolina. Luda Faye's story seems a little more interesting than my story. So her male cat brought a crow into the house, and you got them separated, and the poor crow flew into all the windows, caught the crow, and after a few minutes brought her outside to check on her. As soon as I pulled the blanket off, she flew away. Wow, that's a lot to wake up to. That sounds like a fucking crazy, chaotic morning. I'm like, oh no, there's a crow in the house. And it's like when Capillo brought me that dead rabbit. At least it was dead, you know. It's a lot easier to deal with a dead rabbit than a live crow. Dead rabbits only require you to throw them away. Live crows, especially inside the house. I like crows a lot. I wish I could have crows like loose crows who come to me and let me feed them and stuff. Crows are the opposite of peacocks. Peacocks are proof. If all you knew about birds was peacocks, you would just be like, birds are the worst. They're worse than insects even. But if all you knew of birds was crows, be like, birds are the bomb. I love birds. You know, crows are cool. Peacocks are not cool. I never thought it was even possible that I could regret breaking an air pistol so much. The thing is, crows don't want bread. What crows really want is raw meat. I know this because when I was a kid, my friend Dave Porter and I rode our bikes up over there. There was this lady. She was the luckiest lady ever because she had crow come fly and land on her and she'd feed it fucking raw hamburger. I was just like, oh my God. I want crows to come land on me when I feed them things in too. But that lady must have spent a lot of time convincing that crow it was fine to come land on her, you know? And that's not something you can't become that close friends with a crow overnight. No way. Crows aren't that gullible. They're very smart birds. The thing is, animals like me a lot, right? But crows, they're too cool for that. They're not impressed that I'm going to be nice to them. They're like, well, he's dumb, but it's not his fault. I guess we can go caw at him a little bit. That's a crow's attitude, you know, about me. Oh, the crazy thing is the way that crows have memories that last beyond all of their whole generation. So they did this experiment where this scientist, he put on a caveman mask, right? Like some full head covering mask. And he went out and captured a couple of crows, like tagged them, did some sciencey shit to them, you know. And then even like decades later, after all the crows that could possibly have been there were dead, anytime he'd go out with this caveman mask on, all the crows would be like, caw, 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 you motherfucker, caw! You read about that experiment too, Lou? That's pretty impressive. Like, I'm still mad at you for briefly detaining my great grandfather and great grandmother. And not only am I still mad about it, all of my crow friends are still mad about it too. Well, I mean, the thing is, Lou, the reason is not just him, is because regardless of how smart crows are, they didn't get that it was the same guy when he didn't take the mask, when he didn't have the mask on, you know. It's like, for me, I'd be like, he's the same height, he's got the same clothing on, he's wearing the same shoes and everything. I'm pretty sure that's the same guy, just without the mask on, you know. But I guess the crows, well, obviously their attention is more on like crow clothes and crow hats and stuff, you know. So they don't have that much attention as to give to people to pay attention to what they're wearing and shit, you know, how tall they are. They got too much to worry about with crow business to worry about that, you know, about people that much. I am going. ZJ. Yes. If you wait till the right time, exactly, that broken clock is accurate. Nevertheless, referencing that broken clock for the time is a bad idea. Right? Yes, you can distinguish between things that make sense and things that don't make sense. That doesn't mean you should choose to get your information from the place that makes you do the most work. You know, it's like, yeah, I can TI how this is all bullshit, right? This part's bullshit and this part's not. Or I could listen to somebody who's only got this much rat feces in their food, right? Yes, you could go through your meal and pick out all the rat feces and be left with something that you can eat. Or you could go to a good restaurant. I'm not belittling at all, TJ, your capacity to distinguish rat feces from food. I am instead belittling your choice of restaurant. funny. The painters were outside talking like a couple of bachelor dudes about chicks, you know. I could hear them. No, I don't dislike Jack from WSS at all. My liking or disliking somebody has nothing to do with how right or wrong they are. I like him fine. I just don't like that he talks as though he understands things when he doesn't, and he has the capacity to use TI tool. But because he's an NEDOM, he doesn't want to learn from me, right? No ENTP wants to learn from other ENTPs, really. Like CJ, you don't want to just be like, I'll just learn the truth from Eric. You want to be responsible for all the deliberative stuff yourself and be like, no. I get that, totally. But, I mean, the problem is with Jack, he's committed himself to wrongness. He's the head of the World Socionic Society. Talk about marrying the wrong person. Right, the lack of meaningful distinctions, the lack of operationalized definitions, they're purposely making it such that you can't do anything with their ideas. They're purposely doing that so that you can't see, so that you can't point out how bullshit they are. If I refuse to define anything, then I could be right? As long as my words could mean anything at all, I could be totally right. Could be wrong, could be right. It doesn't matter anyway. We're just gesturing at ideas. We're not explaining things. You know, like explanation theater is one of the most insane realities of human beings that could possibly exist. Explanation theater. I'm going to act like I'm explaining something, but provide no actual explanation. I'm going to use words that people use when they explain things, and I'm going to claim that I'm explaining things, but I'm not actually going to explain anything at all. What in the world are you doing? Could you imagine? You know what never happens to me? It's like this. I say, well, I asserted this, and you rebutted my assertion by saying this. Nobody goes, that wasn't a rebuttal. That was a critique. You know why nobody says that? Because things that aren't typology are sensible about the world, you know? Being vague. Yeah, the thing is, that's the point, is that vagueness is the opposite of explaining things. It's the exact opposite. I do like the intertype relations from socionics. That's fine. Look, I mean, the thing is, the concept that the two types relationships, that the relationship between two types is going to be mostly defined by their cognitive function stacks and not other shit, is right on the money. And about a lot of the intertype relations, socionics is also right on the money. Not all of them, but here's why that's the case. Because you don't have to be right about cognitive functions to be right about intertype relations. See? It's like you can correctly describe what's observably so about these two types interacting together and correctly describe that while being completely wrong about why. So that's why intertype relations are fine in socionics, because they don't require them to be correct about anything other than observationally so things. They're just describing, they're not explaining. Socionics is fine, lots of things are fine when they're just describing things. The biggest problem that socionics has is that it claims, except for intertype relations, to be explaining things. But whoever thinks that that's an explanation has no idea what an explanation is. Not everything in life needs to be explained. That's fine. It's not like explanations are the only thing that matters in the world or something. It's just that if you've decided to take on the job specifically of explaining things, then in that instance, it's kind of important that you actually explain things. Right? Otherwise, what the fuck are you doing? You're just getting rabbit-holed in nonsense. Well, yes, look, having a preference is not the same thing as using an interested calculus to make a decision. Like, I used an interested calculus to eat all those mushrooms this morning because I wanted to eat them, right? I was nevertheless concurrently using a disinterested calculus to say, Eric, this is dumb. You can't expect to get high the way you want to off mushrooms if you eat them every day or every other day, So my disinterested calculus was correct, and my behavior didn't think that was relevant, I was like, I want to eat these mushrooms, so I'm going to eat them. But my calculations about what would be ideal or whether this is a good idea or something, those are very disinterested. Like, I didn't want nitrous to cause neuropathy. But it didn't. That's not why I was saying it couldn't possibly cause it. It had nothing to do with it. It was intuitive overreach. It was like, there's no possible way that one symptom among this cluster of symptoms could be caused by an entirely separate, unrelated drug injury. It intuitively made no sense, right? Rachel's come down with this collection of symptoms, all ensuing from this one night of partying, in which we did a bunch of DMT, right? And one of those symptoms, the neuropathy, has absolutely nothing to do with the DMT, but the fact that we were also doing whippets. And it's like, I made the correct intuitive leap. It was just wrong. And I was correct in dismissing people's explanations as to why nitrous caused neuropathy because those explanations were totally inadequate. They did not substantiate the claim being made. What I should have done, instead of looking for explanations, was go on the subreddit for nitrous and read about people's experiences getting neuropathy. That would have been much more convincing to me. Because then I would say, okay, well, I don't need to know why. I have hereby established that it is the case, and I can just lament the fact that everybody's too stupid to explain it. You know? Explain what? Their B vitamin explanation is correct, but in the sense that, yes, it does take away your B vitamins, but they can't explain why or how to my satisfaction at all. And believe me, if you don't explain something to my satisfaction, then you've not explained it, period. That's it. You failed. Because if I hear a good explanation, I always embrace it. Now, what I was guilty of, instead of using an interested calculus to keep doing nitrous even though it was causing neuropathy, I was guilty of a very different kind of stupid. I was guilty of something I should have known a lot better. I was guilty of thinking that just because nobody could explain why they were right, they were wrong. I mean, the neurologist didn't even attempt to make an explanation. Just give orders. Stop doing nitrous. At the time, I was so alarmed for Rachel's well-being. I was like, okay, all right, yeah. He was just like this ENTJ who's like, meow, 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 meow. And I was like, okay. But of course, we didn't do any of it because why? You can't tell me assertion meow and expect me to do anything but negate it unless assertion meow is followed with adequate justifications to make me think you know what you're talking about, you know? You just tell me, this is so, and I'm a doctor, so listen to me. Okay, well, you're the expert. Explain it to my satisfaction. And believe me, I'm much more an expert than you will ever be on determining whether your explanation is adequate. I'm much more of an expert on that than you or probably anybody else will ever be. So get explaining, motherfucker. And yeah, it's like that lady, the fucking, my dad at the urgent care. She tried to tell me that the EKG meant we had to rush my dad to the hospital. Then I started asking questions, and oh my God, she fucking, the panic in her eye when she realized she got caught lying about that shit, you know? I'm like, okay, well, my dad normally has an irregular heartbeat, so explain to me exactly why this result from the EKG is indicative of an urgent, impending, emergent problem, right? So when you normally see these results, is it suggestive of an impending heart attack? She's like, well, look, you fucking scumbag. Listen to you because you're a doctor. You can't even read an EKG right, you fucking retard. I don't even know anything about this at all. And I was able to instantly say, your claims are bullshit. And she's like, I answered your question. You provided an answer. If I ask you, what time is it, and you say brown, you've provided an answer, but you have not answered my question. Oh God, she was so fucking terrified. So terrified and angry at the same time. Like, I'm being exposed for the idiot I am. Oh no. Well, you shouldn't fucking be a doctor then, you fucking tard. It's like, God damn. Medical doctors, for fuck's sake, right? They're supposed to be the smart people. Instead, we go scoop up all the dumbass ESTJs and go, you be doctors. You don't know how to do anything. I mean, that's the funny thing. ESTJs know how to do everything except use any intuition. It makes you like, how could this person be so hugely successful? Well, because the world's a sensory place, motherfuckers. And it's like my dad always told me. Like, son, that's not the way the world works. The thing is, that is the way the world works for me, Dad. And for all sane people, when you're right, you don't have to continue to make added defenses in case you lose even though you're right. Like, I know I'm right, I'm gonna win, but let me buy some insurance in case I don't. If you're right, what the fuck are you doing? You don't bend 1 inch, you know? You make them regret ever even approaching you with their wrongness. You don't prepare for losing. That's the thing. It's like, there are certain things in life where right and wrong aren't relevant at all and don't matter, right? And there are certain things in life where right and wrong are the only things that matter. You know? It's like my dad getting a lawyer, consulting a lawyer when Becky threatened to sue him for me talking about her on the internet. Like, how little, you must have minus -1 million NI to believe that somebody from Canada can sue not the live streamer who's talking about her and saying all true things about her, not defaming, not libeling, not slandering. Somebody from Canada, you think, Dad, can successfully sue you for shit that, for true things that I'm saying on the internet. You're so worried about this stupid cunt from Canada suing you when you have absolutely no conceivable liability, even if I were libeling or slandering her, that you hire a lawyer to talk about it. You know? That's just like, you're just throwing money down the tubes because you can't tell the difference between a crazy bitch trying to get at me by emailing my dad and an actual legal threat. You know? That's antipolar for you. It's very obvious what was happening there. She was trying to hurt me by emailing my dad a bunch of sort of true, some of them true, some of them not true things about me that she assumed I was keeping secret, right? That if my dad found out what a loser I am, he's gonna really be mad at me. He didn't even talk to me about anything she said, you know? He just said, make that bitch stop emailing me. That's all he said to me about it. And I never heard another word about it from him, except he'd gone to the lawyer. Don't worry, son, I went to the lawyer. I've got contingencies in place. Contingencies for what? Becky somehow filing a lawsuit in California from Canada against you, even though you had nothing to do with what she's complaining about? Which she can't even possibly sue anybody for, because you can't defame somebody with the truth. She just doesn't want people to know what a horrible cunt she is. I'm doing a public service by informing everybody. Oh my God, CJ's so not TI polar that he's skeptical about disinterested calculi. It's like, how much more ridiculously TI tool could you get? I'm going to be skeptical about the notion that anybody can use a disinterested calculus while concurrently constantly using one all the time myself. My name's CJ. I'm here all week. I might be an INTJ, guys. Hey, you never know. I've decided that I'm too skeptical to even accept the truth. Oh, you chickens are in for it. These fucking peacocks are in for it right now. They're sitting right there on my deck, even though I've explained to them many times they are not allowed on my deck. I'm not even going to leave this room. I'm just going to open the sliding door and shoot them from inside. Oh, you're in for it, motherfucker. You are in for it. You're going to pay. You know why? Because I found a penny. And I'm going to shoot it at you. I'm going to shoot you with this penny. Oh, you want to come sit on my deck, huh? Oh, well, here's a place to poop. I'm going to poop right here on your deck. I missed it. Let's hope I have more pennies. Oh, no, fool away. Don't fly away. I'll try to shoot you, you motherfuckers. There's another penny. Wonderful. There's another one, though. I'll shoot that one. I'll shoot you on the roof, motherfucker. I don't care. I missed it again. I'm like 5 feet away. It's ridiculous. I cannot shoot a peacock to save my fucking life. Thanks, darling.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much. I was so sad because I shot that peacock twice from such close range and I still couldn't hit it.
It's not easy.
Where's that other peacock? There it is. I just gotta shoot this peacock on the roof, so. Oh, I missed again. I can't shoot these things for shit.
You know, for being like large birds, they're actually.
They're going there. Oh, yeah, in here there's several of them. There's one right here in the front. There's a good one to use. Like, hello.
Hello.
Like this one right here. There's behind you.
Ah.
Okay. Feel free to just be outside too.
Yeah.
I'm not talking to the cleaning lady. Where are these fucking birds? You're getting it, motherfucker. Wow, what is that? Where's that weird plane? You better fly away.
Okay, so it's the
There's
one.
all of this plus out here. The whole house plus these guys aren't gonna be done.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Okay, well, I've now showed the cleaning lady all the things that have to be cleaned. And I'm now living with the horrible reality that I am very bad at shooting peacocks. I pretty much have to be standing right next to them, or else I'm gonna miss it. You know?
Okay. So to do that whole house cleaning,
Including like the blinds and stuff, you know?
yeah, we will be here like the whole day.
Yeah, yeah, okay.
The whole day.
Uh,
Yeah. It's a big job.
Okay, so how much is it?
I would say 800.
Okay, fine.
150.
850?
Just because, yeah,
No problem, that's fine.
yeah,
That's what I expected.
yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna get my friends to come in and we'll start. You tell us. where
Yeah,
to
you wouldn't
start?
want to, you do wherever you gotta do. We'll
Okay.
move out of your way when we need to move out of your way.
Okay.
And I don't blame you for bringing friends. It's a lot of work.
Yeah, and I was gonna tell you, do you write checks or?
Yeah, I'll write you a check unless if you prefer cash, I can go get you cash.
No, it's you can write me a check. Just do it to cash and fold it and give it to me. That's all.
Okay.
Whenever we're done.
Oh yeah, sure. I'll have Rachel ready for you.
Yeah.
She's the only one with the checkbook around here.
Okay.
Can you write this lady a check for $350, Rachel? I'm talking to Rachel. Nobody's saying, like the way you're parsing right there, CJ. There's no way in hell anybody with FI tool could conceivably parse like that. It just never, ever, ever would happen. It's not, they can't do it. It's not even conceivable for them. They don't even know what it would even mean to try to do it. They're not made for that, you know? They're made for the other kind of parsing. Do I need everything? Do I need anything? My friend Roger. Yes, I do. Please get me DMT and LSD. Thanks so much. Oh, so sorry about your mom passing. How are you holding up? Do you need anything? Yes, I do. I'm gonna give him a winky so he knows I'm joking. I don't actually demand from him DMT and LSD. He probably doesn't even have a connect, you know? I can't find the winky guy. Now I can't even find the regular. There it is. Just kidding. I'm fine. She took so long to die. After all. You want a stark contrast? Question mark? No. Why would I say, do you want a stark contrast? Who would say that? I can voice to text. Be sensible, for God's sake. My dad's death was terrible. My mom's death was finally fucking voice today. Who would say, do you want two stark contrast? Do you want a stark contrast? Who would say, do you want to start contrast? Nobody would ever say that. Get it right, voice to text. You mess up my texts. I'm just glad my name's not Michael Penix Jr. If my name were Michael Penix Jr., I would never be able to send a text with my own last name using voice to text, because it would always say penis. It's like that one time I was using like a voice to text kind of thing on the computer, and I was doing a debate lecture, and I was trying to explain like the following concept. It can be a good idea to do something, but a bad idea to do it that way, right? So I said, look, you can rebut this, because it's like, yeah, I want to go to Phoenix, but you're suggesting that we walk there. Anyway, I was using this whole thing. And then I'd send out to all the kids, like the lecture notes, which were just the transcript of my lecture that the computer had got, you know? I'd send it to all the kids and their parents. Except it, in this part of the lecture, corrected Phoenix to penis. I was like, of course I want to go to penis. I just don't want to walk there. I went out to all of the parents. I said, okay, from now on, Eric, you cannot use Phoenix as an example city. You should have picked Tucson. If I had said, yeah, I want to go to Tucson, but I don't want to walk there, then all of my students and their parents wouldn't have discovered that, yeah, I really want to go to penis, I just don't want to walk there. Because Tucson has the advantage of sounding nothing like the word penis. Oh, okay, well, yeah, I want to go to poop on. That just begs the question, to go poop on what, you know? You can't poop on nothing. You have to poop on something, right? I don't like Eric Andre at all. I really don't like him. He's not funny. He's clearly an ENFP. And I don't have any problem with ENFPs. ENFPs can be funny. But you can't entrust ENFPs with comedy, okay? ENFPs can be very funny sometimes. But you cannot trust them with comedy. You can't like give them their own show or anything. Poop on Arizona. Well, see, the thing is, in my lecture, if I had said Tucson, Arizona, that would have been fine. But I didn't actually specify the state. So it would have left us all very confused as to what I wanted to poop on. Jack Black, I think he's an ENFJ or an INFJ. He's good. I like him. He's one of the two. He's either an ENFJ or an INFJ.
Who?
Jack Black.
Oh.
Don't you think so?
Uh,
Apparently not.
maybe ENFJ. I don't think he's quiet enough to be an INFJ.
Right.
Jack Black, right?
Yeah. The thing is, he used to be quite funny. which tells me he's an FE intuitive of some kind, you know? He's not really funny anymore. But I still think he's a good actor. I mean, it's the hardest thing in the world, really. The single hardest thing in the world is to be funny for more than a couple of years. Right? Because there's zero formula for comedy. You cannot have any kind of formula for comedy at all. And you can never trust anything other than rock solid intuition. If you want to experience hell before you die, go see an ESTJ comic.
Go see a what?
An ESTJ comic.
Oh no.
You didn't eat these?
No, I don't want to. I don't want to. I don't feel like taking mushrooms. It's gonna be a little bit probably till I take some. I didn't like that last trip.
Yeah, he just didn't like the fact that I took them without you.
Yeah, of course. Like, you went to McDonald's without me too?
Rachel, it was 6 in the morning.
Oh.
I didn't expect you to get up for another fucking 6 hours.
Okay. It's mine?
I don't know. Maybe.
I don't think so.
Yeah, don't worry about that.
Well, I need to put clothes away.
Oh, you need to put clothes away someplace. I see what you're saying. Okay. Well, we have these nice containers here.
Oh. Yeah, we can't use them for clothes.
Why don't we just put them in one of these containers?
Okay.
I think all this destabilization is affecting you a little bit more than me, maybe. I know this is frustrating, living like this.
It's not right. It's invasive. It's so invasive.
But
It's
Rachel,
like you have people coming to your house to say, "Thank God I took a shower when I did, like a bath when I did." You have people saying that they're coming at 12. They come an hour early, and it's like, what the fuck? And then you have painters come the next day because they missed the first day. Like, I think confusing. It's just like so destabilizing.
well, it's because, my darling, we are selling this house.
Yeah, moving sucks. I had no idea. Like, people always said it, but I had no idea what they meant.
Well, we're not just moving. We're selling a house.
Yeah.
And trying to live in it at the same time.
Yeah.
So there's not really anybody to get mad at.
No.
And I've got some good news for you.
What's that?
I never even took a bite of my McDonald's sandwich. Would you like it?
Sure. Thank you.
I just ate that. I agree with you, Horse Mumbler. He did a good enough job for a long enough time that he doesn't need to be funny anymore. Jack Black. He can get away with just doing his thing, making cameos, being Jack Black. You know.
I just like he has to be not an INFJ because he annoys me so much. Like when he does bad comedy, like Nacho Libre, it's bad.
I mean, bad comedy's always bad.
Yeah.
But it's not because Jack Black's not a funny guy.
No.
He may not have good taste in vehicles.
Yeah. I'm not a huge fan of his. I'm not.
Well, I mean, I'm not
He's
anymore.
okay.
I'm not anymore. But back at when he first came around, and his comedy was fresh to me, I found him funny. You know.
Like I liked him in because I think he just played himself, but High Fidelity and then School of Rock. But other than that, like.
You know what was a horrible movie was Year One? Oh God, that was awful. It's like it was a whole movie based on one joke about hunters and gatherers. It was a pretty good joke, but they tried to stretch it into a 2-hour movie. No, and it had that guy.
Yes.
That other guy did the hilarious impression of on Saturday Night Live.
Yes.
Oh,
Michael Cera.
I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
That guy,
Yeah.
Michael Cera, yeah. He was in that movie too. That guy on Saturday Night Live does such a great impression of him.
Yeah. Like the ho.
Hang in there. You're not listening to me, Roger. Yeah, we're basically available anytime. Period. We're just doing a bunch of stupid house moving stuff. Voice to text. Why would you write the word period? So anyway, Rachel and I are gonna have to get out of here today. I mean, you should be able to because we knew this ahead of time. Although it did come a day earlier, but we were informed a day earlier. So
I cannot wait for Christmas just because we won't be doing anything. Hopefully.
well, you know, yesterday was a busy day. I got one thing that's gonna cheer you up, Rachel, because I know you are in a very shitty mood.
Yeah, like I can't take it anymore.
I mean, you want to just move into a hotel for a couple weeks?
I know it's not helpful, but it, like.
Well, I mean, this is what happens when you push on somebody's 8th slot function. Right now, the world is assaulting Rachel's SI. And when you keep hammering on someone's 8-slot function, you're gonna drive them insane. Well, you know, it's like we know intellectually there are going to be people here all day, etc. But that's different than experiencing it. SI8 being hammered, right? All of the things that she counts on to be the same, like she keeps doing the laundry like always, but now she has nowhere to put it. It's gonna drive her fucking insane, you know? It's annoying to me, but the thing is, I protect my 8th slot. I can protect my 8th slot. I'm doing it right now. Protecting my 8th slot is irrelevant actually to what's happening to her 8th slot, but the point is, her 8th slot's a lot harder to protect. I can protect my 8th slot by hiring other people to do the things. If I had to clean this house, if I had to paint that room, if I had to meow, I would be freaking the fuck out.
This is all,
it's the equivalent to her, but for SI.
It's all very helpful. It's all very necessary, and everyone's been great. Like, there's no, like, we've been lucky with who's been coming in our home and working on it.
Except for the handyman.
Well,
And he really, that shit he pulled there at the end there where he's like, I'm just not going to finish this job now that I got my money. Not okay. Totally not okay. But he was nice enough. It's like I don't feel bad about him getting money, and I don't feel bad about him with the parts of the job that he did do. It's like, fuck off, dude. What are you doing?
I'm just
Finish the fucking job.
Yeah,
But there's no way to protect Rachel's SI in this house, in this context. The only way to protect it is for us to go to a hotel for the rest of the time we're here. In which case, then she'd have everything her SI needs. A bathroom with her shit on it, right? She wouldn't have to worry about laundry. She'd have a TV where she wants it. You know, it's like, Rachel doesn't require a whole hell of a lot. She just requires the few things that she requires to stay constant. You know?
Yeah.
And that's exactly what she's not getting right now. She's not getting any constancy from anything.
No. Like, I'm so stupid though, because my expectations were fucked up. Like, I thought that we would have like some period of rest before all this stuff happened when we came back from Portland, but it's been nonstop.
It only feels like that, actually. Yesterday was very busy. Today we got people all in our house. Like, I was annoyed when the painters didn't come when I expected them to come. But the main reason why I was annoyed is because they were pushing out my 8th slot. I'd gotten you to write a check. I was ready to hand it to them.
Yeah. Oh, did you take it out of my bag?
No, I don't
Okay.
even know where it is.
It's
And
in
then
my bag.
when they're not showing up when they're supposed to, right? I sent this email to Dean saying, okay, so these are the people I've already paid and stuff. These are the people that are still coming. How much are these people going to be, etc. I said I'd paid the painter because I expected them to be there like already. You know, it's already afternoon. They were already late. I was gonna be here any second. I had left a message on their phone saying I'll leave the check out there or whatever, and they never showed up yesterday. It doesn't matter at all to me whether they do it today, yesterday, tomorrow.
No,
I don't
that
care.
doesn't
But
care.
what does matter to me is that it fucked with my 8 slot SE. I wanted to do that thing right then, and they're supposed to be there so I can do that one little task I have to do. And then now it's like, oh, well, now what are we gonna do with this fucking check?
Yeah, right. And then like imagine if we lost it.
Well, do you remember how difficult it was for us to even decide what to do with the check?
No.
Because it's like, we wrote it, I'm supposed to hand it to you now.
Crazy. It's crazy how like the East Slot is so.
Yeah, but anyway, if you give me that check, I'll give it to him.
Okay.
And if you could write these late $850 check,
Okay.
then I'll sell you more money.
Okay.
So I was like, that's how much people don't like their 8 slot function being messed with. I've hired people to do all of the SE stuff, okay? And I hate having my 8 slot function messed with so much that the one thing that makes me mad is that when I'm ready to hand him a check, he's not there. That's how much people don't like having their 8 slot function messed with. Not only do I not want to do any of this stuff, I also don't want to wait even 1 second when it's time for me to give you your check. You go ballistic when you go off schedule suddenly? Missing a bus? Let's see. We got NE8. What should drive you crazy is that people keep demanding of you more different ideas.
So wait, who has any?
That's all I got.
If he's in.
If he's in the ESFP, right?
ESFP.
He's got NE8. I've never tried that with Delilah. I should try that. No, but come up with more different ideas. Come up with more different ideas. Those ones aren't good enough. That's not new enough, okay? I've heard that one before. You need to come up with something completely novel that I've never heard before, or I'm dissatisfied. That would drive you fucking crazy. Thank you for all your hard work.
Did they say did they mention who to write the check out to?
I think she said just write it out to cash, but I'd say just write it out to $850. Leave the two whom blank, and just give it to them, and then they can fill out the 2 part.
12. What's today? The 22nd.
22nd, and the total is $850. And put in the line for cleaning ladies, and sign it and just give it to them like that.
Just and leave the pay to order of blank.
Yeah, page 2, just leave that blank. And then, after we give them this check, I'm gonna end the stream.
Wait, 850, right? Okay.
You don't listen to me now. Okay, well, you pay attention to that. Anyway, after I end this, I give the cleaning ladies the money, Rachel and I'm going to end the stream. I got to go pee really bad. I've had to pee for a long time now. And then after I pee, Rachel and I are going to go someplace else. I mean, frankly, Rachel.
I'm sorry.
No, don't be sorry. No, what I was gonna say, frankly, Rachel, fuck this noise. I'm just gonna go check us into a hotel for the night because I don't want to have to stay away from the house because the house sucks ass and not have anywhere to go. So we're just gonna go fucking check into a hotel. And I don't give a fuck. And that's it.
Sure, like.
We're checking in, not forever, but we're checking in for tonight.
Yeah.
And it's only noon. I don't want to wait till check-in time.
Yeah.
So I am going to get a hotel room for last night too. Because we're going to go to a hotel. We're going to have good Wi-Fi. We're going to take my laptop, this thing here,
We'll stream, right?
that thing, the keyboard, the mouse. We don't even have to take any clothes or anything with us because we can always come back here and get clothes if we want, And we're gonna get a hotel that's close, that's nice, and we're gonna just be there for a couple of days as we see fit. So we have a home base that's not fucking horrible.
Man, I don't.
Just for a couple of days. It's just for a couple of days.
No, you're right. You're absolutely right.
Because look, today and tomorrow, today's Thursday, right? It's gonna be nothing but cleaning ladies and painters.
Oh, dude. Oh.
We just have to accept that horrible reality for all the rest of today, and just assume all of tomorrow. It's just gonna be an endless succession of internet problems and cleaning ladies. So we're just gonna go someplace else. We'll come back and feed the cats. The cats, Trouble won't even make any appearance when anybody is here except me and Rachel.
Yeah.
He doesn't like anybody at all except for me and Rachel, whom he adores beyond all reckoning.
He has become so loving.
Oh my God, that cat loves us so much.
He's grown so much.
Now I can pet his whole body.
You do?
I do. I pet him all the way down to the butt.
Oh my gosh, that's like such progress.
Well, the other day he had sand on him. He must have rolled around in the sand or something outside. And I was trying to pet all the sand off of him. But it's hard to get all the sand off of because he's got this thick fur, And eventually, after I kept petting all the way to the bottom, he was like, okay, that's enough petting me back there. And then he gave me this look of, enough already.
But now he's giving us looks and like.
Right, rather than attacking us.
Yeah, right. It's that's such progress.
He's such a brilliant cat. He's just fucking brilliant.
And I think we've been good teachers.
No, he's been a good learner.
Yeah.
Okay. The thing is, we're not even teaching. We're just being authentically offended when he's attacking us.
Yeah. You say okay.
And authentically being like, oh, you're so wonderful, when he's wonderful.
Yeah. So he's kind of taken
We haven't really tried to teach him anything.
No, it's just been.
The only thing I have any conscious thought of teaching him is, you better not be mean to your sister or I'm gonna fucking yell at you and shake a broom towards you.
Yeah, that still happens every once in a while.
He is so jealous.
Yeah,
That's the other thing is part of his extreme
it's
love
so funny.
is he's jealous of anything. Like, it's supposed to be like this: me, trouble, Rachel, and that's it as far as he's concerned. No,
Yeah,
I'll
oh,
give
yeah.
you the thing.
Thank you.
Thank you. You didn't sign it.
Oh,
You still didn't sign it,
that would
even
have been
though,
bad.
even though you don't put who it's to. You still have to say, "Our from Rachel." And then just get me the fuck out of this place.
I'm sorry. I feel like such like a
You,
cunt.
well, no, what you are is, you're, and right now, a person I could call everything's shitty, Rachel. But you know what's the beautiful thing about Rachel? Even when she's being everything's shitty, Rachel, she's still always correct. Here's the check. I guess it's left for 2 weeks. Okay. All right, thank you. If you could leave me a receipt, it'd be great. We're probably gonna just be out of here for all the rest of the day. We're just gonna go to a hotel, and all tomorrow. Maybe you see me a little bit more, but. Okay, well, whatever you guys decide to do, you're probably not gonna be able to do anything out there. Oh, you did? Yeah. Okay, well, then why am I signing with you? You know your business better than me. Really, like, these people don't need me telling them how to do their job at all. They're much better at their job than I am. So why am I telling them things? You just give them a check. That's all you gotta do. They don't want me telling them things. Understandably. And, you know, we're just gonna leave all this shit that's here, except for stuff we're taking with us. And then they can just move it around as easy as you know, and clean around it or whatever. Alright. I'm done for right now. Moving things over here, moving back over here. How could I have been so bad at estimating the number of containers we needed? I'm like, okay, we're gonna need at least 10 more containers of this size. We have 1, 2, 3. Oh, there's that one. 4. We had 4 leftover containers. That's a poor job of estimating. I almost got twice as many containers as I did.
Well, you know, those boxes seemed really filled.
But it seems like we had all that stuff here, right? Like, it's gonna take a lot of containers to put that stuff in.
That's what I thought too.
Well, the problem was Cameron was here helping. He's good at packing containers. If I had been packing all the containers, probably we would have needed 10 containers. On the other hand, oh my God, he is such an ISTJ legend. Like him, when I'm there, Karen, I can't cut this. They all come out, like dragging us off. Like the wrong side. I can't do that. And then he fucking goes to the car and gets me these things from his car that he has, of course, on hand in his car. These two pieces of wood, these two clamps, a full set of instructions on how to do it right. I'm like, you don't gotta get these woods, Cameron. I got pieces of wood outside that are way too big and not good for this. You don't want those woods there. You want these woods. But you know what I'm gonna probably do? I'm gonna go buy some more of those things. Shh, don't tell anybody. I'm not even gonna try. I'm just gonna wait till the next time I see Cameron and say, "Cameron, can you say that for me? That's so hard for me." That's what. That's a better solution.
I'm sure he'd be happy to do it.
I mean, apparently he seems to like to help us, you know?
Yeah.
He is an absolute fucking saint.
Yeah. He's able to put himself in other people's shoes like easily. Like, because he said, you know, he's very sympathetic to what we're going through right now.
Right. So, like, I owe him a total of like $1,200. I mean, I don't anymore. I paid him now $1,100, and I said I'm gonna give you another $400. Give you $1,500 instead of $1,200. It's like, that's way too much. Cameron. No, that is not way too much. After all, if it hadn't been for you, we wouldn't have sold that $4,000 coin collection for $4,000. You know, if it weren't for you, I wouldn't have that gun I wanted. If it weren't for you, our cats would be dead. If it weren't for you, I would never figure out how to put those things in. I'd have to call that same handyman back and say, come finish your job, and say, well, it's going to cost you more money. And I'd be like, price the job very well. If it weren't for Cameron, all that horrible stuff would happen. It's like, I've been thinking, well, what are we going to do when it's time to go to have the funeral for mom and dad? And we're in Mariposa. We've got 2 cats.
Oh man.
And no house sitter up there. I was thinking, maybe Rachel's gonna stay home, but I realized no. I will simply hire Cameron to come house sit us for a week, and there's no possible way that anybody but Cameron could do it, because Trouble doesn't like Cameron either. Trouble doesn't like anybody but Rachel and me.
They're
But-
conflictor types.
But Cameron, even if he's a conflictor type of Trouble, he is the cat whisperer, okay? So if there's any person in the world who's gonna convince Trouble that it's okay to be taken care of by this person while I'm waiting for Eric and Rachel to get back, only Cameron could possibly sell Trouble on that. Because Cameron's so respectful of animals, right? He never forces anything on any animal. He waits for them. I remember one time, I was yelling at these crows to leave this hawk alone, right? Because they were bullying him in the sky. And Cameron's like, well, that's because he's trying to eat their babies. He got all mad on behalf of the crows. I was like, yeah, but I wasn't thinking about that. It just looks to me like those two crows keep bothering that poor hawk.
That's what I mean. Is he's so good at putting himself in other people's shoes?
Oh, I guess that's what that is. You're right.
Yeah.
He's so good at putting himself in other people's shoes that he got mad at me for yelling at the crows for bothering the hawk because that hawk might have been trying to eat those crows' baby.
But it's so funny because, like, yeah.
To me, it just looked like bullying, right? It's
Yeah.
like, you crows are bullying that hawk. You knock it off.
Yeah.
Well, Cameron thought a little bit further along the whole thing than that, you know?
Yeah.
He didn't just think about what's right in front of his face like I did. You know where we should go stay, I think? If it's not too expensive. Is that place that's across the street from this racetrack?
Oh yeah.
New hotel that they built there?
Hotel.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not too expensive.
Yeah, let's go over there and find out how much it would cost to stay there. If it's not too expensive, let's stay there. If it's over $200 or so, it's over like $250 a night before all the shit, like the estate taxes. I mean the resort taxes and shit like that. And then we'll go someplace else. If it's under $250 a night before all those things, then we'll stay there.
Okay.
Okay. Now we have a standard, so we don't have to worry about.
I'm sorry, Allie. I'm sorry I've been acting childish.
I am acting childish.
I've been pouting a little.
You've just been everything shitty, Rachel. I'm gonna agree with you that that's not the most popular Rachel, but I want to remind you that Rachel is just as correct, maybe even more correct than the Rachel that doesn't point out when things are shitty. You're gonna need to take this with you.
The whole thing?
Yes.
Okay. I have my other checkbook.
Oh.
But this
But
is.
the thing is,
yeah, but
take it
this
with you because
is, yeah.
it's important personal
It is.
documents, you know, something like that.
I'll put it in. So my stuff is in on top of the mic card, sound card, whatever it is.
Your stuff's on top of your what?
Yeah, my stuff is underneath.
Oh, it's in this suitcase?
Yeah, it's that suitcase. So
Okay.
I'll put my stuff in there.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. I'm just gonna take my backpack, but what we have to do before we can't do it anymore because the ladies will have cleaned in here and then have to leave it clean. It's pretty important, I think, that we smoke one last fat joint inside the house. Okay? Just walk around all the rooms, blow weed smoke on everything. Because after the cleaning ladies are done,
It's gonna smell
We're
spick
not-
and span.
we're not going to be allowed to smoke weed in our house
No.
anymore.
No, we're not. I know that's another thing that I'm gonna have to get adjusted to.
I know. Well, it's like, I don't want the realtors to yell at me.
No, because they will.
They will because they know
Yeah,
what kind of
they
people
know.
we are.
Yeah.
And that we need to be yelled at.
Yeah.
So, because you know, if you don't yell at me, I'm never gonna learn anything. When you do yell at me, you will get the outcome you want. But I still won't learn anything. Yelling at me when I'm wrong is a good way to get me to immediately change my behavior or do whatever you want me to do. But no matter what, no matter how effectively you yell at me, I refuse to learn anything. Like, I get why this thing's here, and it's a pretty great thing to have here, but it's also kind of like a bad place to have it, I guess. Okay. It's time to smoke a big fat joint before we go to a hotel because I can't stand being here with all these people in my house. Takes them about 5 minutes to realize, oh, don't worry. This guy's not a real client. Like, you know, first when I went out in the morning, I'm like, yo, guys, that's all warmer when you unplug it. Ah. For like 5 seconds, it looked like, oh, we're in trouble. And then they realized, oh, it's just Eric yelling at us. This guy who can't even shoot a peacock from 5 feet with a penny is not scary at all. The one thing I can conclude so far for being the painter of Eric Strauss is apparently that guy does a lot of drugs. Okay. Let's enjoy this. Our final inside the house joint. I normally don't even smoke joints in the house because they're so stinky, but you know what? Fuck you, house. Fuck you and your non-stinky wives. I should really offer to roll a joint for the painters and the cleaning ladies too, but
Yeah.
I seem to be almost out of weed.
Yeah, but I was like, wait, the other one was dropped.
All right, I broke a whole bottle of weed. That's why.
It's okay.
Yeah. We're gonna just free-weed the mushroom dealer, guys. I guess we'll just say that for ourselves in the house.
Okay.
I think the weird thing about weed is this. That's a terrible idea. Like, that's a terrible idea. then only INTJs would ever win Magic the Gathering. Personally, it's not going to be bad. I discovered when I was playing Magic the Gathering. Well, I know, I always wanted to make a white deck. Like, all white, like just all defense. I can defend against anything. I like that kind of deck. That's my kind of deck, you know? Oh, you can't hurt me. I've got this thing that makes me get extra life back and shit, you know? But the problem is, it's really tough to win a game of Magic the Gathering when you don't have any offense. Oh, I hated black. It's like, okay, you're a little like, oh, I'm gonna play this black card, and now all of a sudden I have twice as much mana. Okay, fuck you, black. What is with that card? You know? Like that card, I forget what it's called, but that card is such a cheater card. You know which one I'm talking about? The one that lets you like just spend 1 mana and get 3 back or whatever for some reason. That's such a cheater card. And red always sucks ass, you know? It's like, okay, oh, I've got these big dragons that can shoot so many fires. And they only require like 14 lands and 12 mana to cast. It's like, oh, how much could you suck, Red?
Oh.
You couldn't suck anymore, Red. Who would want to play Red if you have it so hard to get any of your shit that's good out? Green's cool. Green's fine. Are you?
I feel like we should pull some cards.
Oh, sure. Let me finish my, well, that's probably what you're waiting for, the joint. I just want to finish my assessment of Magic the Gathering colors, okay?
Sure thing.
So, before we do that. Red sucks ass, black is cheater, white's the best one, but not good enough to win. So let me start. Red sucks ass, black's cheater, white's the best, but he always loses. Green is fine. At least with green, you get a lot of shit out there, right? Like, okay, I got so many weak ass monsters in front of me. I'm sure to be safe. And then blue, it's like, it's the oh no you can't color. You know, I'm gonna cast a spell. Oh no you are not. I'm playing a counter spell. How you like that, mister? Now you're not casting that spell. It's like white, but even more retarded, right? Not only does it not have offense, it doesn't even really have defense. It just has frustrate your opponent for a while. What kind of a strategy is that? There's no purple. There's no purple in Magic the Gathering. And just so you know, There's only plains, trees, waters, swamps, and any kind of land. It's like, how could you have a land that's any kind of land? Sometimes I'm a swamp. Sometimes I'm a forest. Sometimes I'm a plain. It's a land. It can't be whatever it wants whenever it wants. You know? Or like these things. It requires 2 plains and 2 swamps to cast. What could you possibly need to do that will require both a plain and a swamp? Whatever you're doing that requires a plain, that's fine. You need the plain to be a plain, right? It's like the ground is solid, there aren't a lot of trees around. Maybe I'm hunting gazelles. I need a plain, you know? Maybe I'm hunting alligators. I need a swamp. There's no conceivable circumstance in which I need both a plain and a swamp at the same time. That's alright. You're out there, there's tall plains, tall swamps, tall forests, and tall multicolored lands that change into whatever. Oh, well, I stand corrected. You just explained it in a way that makes perfectly good sense. You need the plain to make it into a graveyard, and then you bring the swamp to turn the dead people into zombies. Okay, well, now I understand. I was wrong. You were right the whole time. In fact, now I can't even conceive of living and doing anything at all in life without concurrently standing on a plain and a swamp. We'd already be checked into the hotel, except I don't have a swamp. But I sure do wish I put swamps in my deck. What was I thinking building my white deck with nothing but plants? I did put some swamps in there too. Well, if you ask me, black is cheater energy. The black always wins, you know? Fuck black. It wins and it's evil. The best thing about a black deck is the card Painful Memories. I really relate to that card. I feel like somebody must have cast painful memories on me early on in childhood. And ever since then, I've suffered from them. And I like the picture on it too. That person's like, oh. Painful memories. Well, look, I don't approve of all the evil of the black deck, except for painful memories. I approve of that one. I have no problem casting that on other people, because it's like, you need to think about all the bad things you've done. That should be in the white deck, really. Painful memories should be a white card. It's all about justice. That's why I keep having all these painful memories. Because I wasn't perfect. I deserve to relive and suffer from my imperfections over and over and over again. That's what I get for making mistakes and having SI as a conscious function. That's what I deserve for making mistakes and having SI as a conscious function. Right. MacDaddy, actually, I beat you to it. I remembered before you because the mouse was right next to the tarot cards. Why do you imagine Rachel set the tarot cards right there, I wonder? Could it be that she anticipated that I'd forget all about it, and by placing it next to the mouse that I would be reminded, so that she wouldn't have to say anything? Could that possibly be what happened?
It's so like, yeah.
I'm thinking it's a possibility.
Man, that's like, it sounds so manipulative.
You're Pearson's puppeteer, my darling. You're the hindmost. For those of you who've read Ringworld, I think you know what I'm talking about. Those are the real geniuses. The hindmost. The hindmost of Pearson puppeteers is the most genius creature in the entire universe. Here's a card. What's it for? Nobody knows. What is it? It's the Empress. Oh, I know what it's for. It's for Rachel.
Oh, thanks.
You're the Empress. Here's your card.
Thanks.
Now let's find out what other cards there are. Oh, this one. The Hierophant. This one is for our realtors. They get to be that. They like being that for some reason. Me, not so much. But they seem to really like to be that.
Yeah.
The next card. The Two of Cups. That is you and me, baby.
Yeah,
That one goes right there between us.
Yeah.
The realtor is sitting in this chair today, okay? This backpack represents the realtors.
Yes.
Our local realtors.
Our local realtor.
Not Mariposa realtors.
So we should do
I don't think of
Mariposa.
David as a Hierophant.
No, he's not.
Well, he's, you know, but the thing is, we're not there right now. So that's why he doesn't get to sit in this chair.
That's fine.
That's why our local realtors have to sit in this chair right now.
Should we draw a separate card for...
Maybe. Well, you know, what we're doing is we're finding out who it's for when
Okay.
we pull the
Okay.
cards. That's what's
Okay.
happening this time for some reason.
I like that.
The Sun. Well, I
That's
do
gotta be
declare.
you.
Is this my card? I think it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Put it out right there. I'm the Sun. I'm the Sun. She's the Empress. We're the Two of Cups. And our lawyers are the Hierophant. Let's see who else is in the story. The Eight of Sticks. I don't remember what this card means.
It means fast movement.
Fast movement. This represents the cleaning ladies. And they go over there. They drop the patterns on their side. Well, they don't get to be represented by fast movement. They doesn't even show up at all yesterday. They weren't just late, they didn't even show up at all. This one. The Queen of Pentacles. This is Delilah.
Yeah.
She goes over there because she lives that way. This is bad. It should be flat too like the other ones. I don't like it being different than the other ones. I hate diversity of angle. Everything must either be flat or everything must be standing up. You can't just have one thing standing up and the rest of them are flat. That's crazy talk.
You know about equality.
I don't. I have a feeling this next card is for Lou. 6 of Pentacles.
That's so nice. That's generosity.
Oh, generosity. You know what I was so jealous about her? See, that was a time to turn up. She start back.
I know.
I saw it in my email. We get to watch it at the
No
hotel.
way.
We go to the hotel and watch Lou.
Oh.
Lou's right. Lou lives way over there somewhere. So her card goes over there. Okay.
This is really like.
There may be like 1 or 2 more. There's 2 more poses. I'm not sure who they're going to represent.
Okay.
Oh, strength. This card represents money. Strength and money are pretty much the same thing. Or it could represent my dead parents. Yeah. A more accurate
What is it?
and less reductive interpretation of it. This represents my dead parents. Strength.
Strength. Yes.
And I believe I said there was going to be 1 more card. It's amazing how the tarot is so like cooperative like this. The Fool. Talking with famous people. What a foolhardy endeavor. This man spends a whole work week doing something that accomplishes nothing at all ever. There could be nothing more purely the fool than talking with famous people. And that goes over there, because that's where the computer is. They ended that reading.
That was a great reading.
I had no idea Tiffany was so good at reading tarot.
Yeah, Tiffany really is.
I was like, of course I know about that. I'm Tiffany. Well, Tiffany, I'm impressed, actually, frankly. You did a pretty damn good job with that one.
Yeah.
You got Rachel being the Empress, you got me being the Sun, you got Rhea being the Hierophant, you got the cleaning ladies and the fast action. Really impatient probably for us to get the fuck out of here. And you got strength representing my dead parents. You got the 2 of Cups for me and Rachel's relationship, because we're like these 2 dogs. They're not fighting over that thing. They're helping each other carry it.
That's so funny.
And my daughter, Queen of Pentacles, this picture of this dog is so if Delilah were a dog.
Yes.
You know, right?
Yes.
If Delilah were a dog, that's the pose she'd be making.
Totally.
I am Delilah. You may bask in my glow. She's fantastic, that daughter of mine.
Yes, she is.
absolutely fantastic. And, the time I already said with me, it also got blue. And even put the card towards Portland. That's how powerful this tarot deck is. Look at Lou. Look what she's doing. She's like, all right, they got your human hearts. I got this really strange new kind of Nike, apparently, I don't know. And you're just like, gimme, gimme, gimme. And you're just like, oh God. Another person who wants me to harder Nikes. That's fucking spot on. Look at that. This little dog is thinking one thing more than anything else. I have got to go out naked on a prey. And then it even got talking with basketball guys.
See, that's Magic the Gathering.
Ludicrous. Oh my God, not that again. See, now that's what you call humor expertise, right? It's like nobody expected that callback at that moment. You know? There was zero indication that was anywhere on the horizon. Including to me until the very moment when I said it, you know?
Oh, naked and afraid.
Oh, somebody else wanted some cards.
Oh yeah, Mac Daddy.
Who wants cards? If you want cards, say me. And Nexus. Your name's hard to say. Nexus 6. Your name's too hard to say. You need to change your name to just Nexus.
Okay, so we have a running of memes.
Alright, I've got to do Nexus first because I saw him first. But I'm not going to call you Nexus 6 because that's too hard to say. Oh, Nexus 6. Well, you're an S shy, my friend. You are an S shy of spelling Nexus 6. Nexus 6 requires 2 S's. You get the King of Swords and the Hierophant and the Hanged Man. I'm going to do my best Ludifer impression here. Interesting energy. I think what your guides are really trying to tell you right now is that... Anyway, she does a great job. I can't really imitate.
Yeah.
I can't imitate her because I can't do as good a job as she
totally
does.
did.
But I mean, I've seen conflicting energies here. King of Swords. This one means you're like me with your thinking. Like, I'm right, you're wrong, and you're actually correct. This one means I'm going to succeed by playing according to the standard suggested thing. Like, I'm gonna get good grades, and I'm gonna go to college, get my degree, and then I'm gonna get my PhD to maximize my earning power. And then I'm gonna earn money, I'm gonna put it away. I'm gonna save, I'm gonna buy insurance, I'm gonna buy some more insurance. That's the Hierophant, okay?
That's the Hierophant.
The Hierophant loves buying insurance. On the other hand, here's where the conflicting energy comes from. The Hanged Man. The Hanged Man is not like the Hierophant. The Hanged Man is not buying insurance, Hanged Man is like, God, I'm just stuck by this question of whether I should buy insurance. Maybe the whole idea of insurance is insane. But maybe I'm insane. That's the Hanged Man.
Was that Lou? That sounds like Lou.
No, that was just me saying what the Hanged Man is. The card the Hanged Man, right?
Yeah.
It's like a guy who's been brought to a screeching halt by the question of whether he should buy insurance, segueing into the question of whether insurance itself is insane, segueing into the question of whether he's insane, and then resolving the question by saying, I better just sit here and think about it for a while. That's the Hanged Man, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Got it. But that does sound like, wait, you drew those 3 cards for Lou, right?
No, that's for Nexus.
Oh, for Nexus.
I'm sorry, Nexus 6.
Nexus
6, who for some reason only put 1 S in his name. Even though that clearly spells Nexus 6. It spells Nexus. Nexus 6. Nexus 6. Anyway. Now, let me go back up to see who the needs are. And once we do all these people, we gotta get out of here because I'm sure the cleaning ladies don't like us here. That's why we gotta get out. Talk about Effie third, right? Even though I don't like being in this house or whatever because there's other people here, my conscious reasoning for why we gotta get out of here is because the cleaning ladies don't like us here. Isn't that funny?
That is funny.
Oh yeah, we saw you hear about us. Hear about us with a like. Oh, very special video. Just for us. Because here's the thing, Lou. When we watched your pick a card thing, and I picked iron, and Rachel agreed, she was looking at us with iron, and it nailed us fucking perfectly. I said, oh, God, I'll probably get us. That one was made for just any old person. Oh, it's just made for just me. And nobody else can enjoy. Okay, next person who wanted to say to me was Mac Daddy. Okay, Mac Daddy. Your first card is bum, 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 the Ten of Swords. I forget exactly what it means, but I know that it's bad.
It's like defeat.
Defeat. Like, oh.
Yeah, like it's like you made all the thoughts and plans ahead of time and everything fell through.
It's like that stuck window outside.
Yeah, it is.
You need one fucking window, and then the whole place open. Every other window out there opens fine. Almost all the windows in here open fine. There's one window in the bedroom that's trouble, but the one window I really need to be able to open is so stuck that just no one's sticking it. Even the painters can't unstick it. That's the Ten of Swords.
Yeah.
Next, Judgment. You know, my ex-wife used to say, you are loved. I'm going to start saying, you are judged. We're in the same tone of voice to people. Oh, don't worry, Mac Daddy. You are judged. You are judged so much by so many. Judgment's not a bad card, though.
No, Judgment.
I think it's a good card. I think it's a good card too. I think this means basically The day of reckoning has arrived. Because I'm an optimist, I think, oh, cool, I'm getting a reward.
Yeah.
And your third card, oh, you also got the Hanged Man.
Wow.
So, you're stuck reaping shitty crops right now. You're stuck harvesting shitty crops. Sorry. Unfortunately, but that's just right now you're stuck. You're not stuck forever. You're just stuck right now for in the process of the task, the job, or whatever you want to call it, of harvesting shitty crops.
So like two things.
You planted them, remember? You planted those shitty seeds in the first place. Is what they're selling you. Go ahead, Rachel. Sorry.
That's okay. Two things that like I think when I think of the Hangman card, Mac Daddy, is one, the person is usually hanged upside down, so it's seeing things from a different perspective. The second thing that I want to note is that some people actually take it like literally, and they're like, they suggest like doing like stuff for your back, like so hanging from your bed upside down.
I don't want to hang from the right side up. That sounds like halfway to a pull-up to me. Right? Hang from this bar, uh-oh. This is beginning to resemble PE class. Okay, Shuffler. What's it next? The Sun. Hey. That's a good card. Unless you're a ginger. Then it sounds like a sunburn. But look at this card right here. Even this very big dog and that bird, they're all impressed with that little dog. And that little dog's like, fuck yeah, I got it all. Look at me, I'm fucking the best. And that big dog's like, oh, I feel bad about myself because that little dog's so cooler than me. And even the hawk's like, hey man, if I could be a ground animal, I'd be you, little dog. Yeah.
Who is this for?
That is for sure. But doesn't it
Oh my
look
God,
like
that's
that
like-
big dog is saying that to that little dog?
Yeah, and the little dog is so happy.
Yeah. The little dog must be effing third because he's happy that his greatness is making the guy next to him feel bad. Anyway, your next card is the Pagi of Wands. I'm surprised, frankly, Shuffler. I would have expected you to get at least the Queen of Wands. At the worst, you know. Even if you just got the Knight of Wands, I would have been like, you're not really Wandsing it up as much as I would expect from you, Shuffler. You're just the Page of Wands? What did your TE take a day off or something? This is like child TE, like childish TE. I guess Shuffler's TE took a day off today. I don't know. Well, you know, it is this tool function, right? My TI takes a day off occasionally, too. But Shuffler, you also got the Page of Cups. Your FI and TE are letting you down today? That's how I see it. Some people go, oh, no, it's fine to be a childlike with this thing, you know? I want to be childlike with my TE. You do not want to be childlike with your TE. What you do, that's just what it looks like, right? I can't even cut those fucking plastic things. That's Page of Wands to me. Me trying to replace those things. That's Paige wins. But you know, if you're just like playing around outside, like nailing boards randomly together or something, I guess, and you like to do that, that'd be okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but I just don't think Page of Wands is a very good card.
Page of Wands.
It's a bad place to be childlike.
So it's a child, TE child, right?
Childlike and TE, it's not a good combination.
In the traditional tarot, he's got his staff, and he's like looking up at it. So maybe the TE, they think that, they're.
Yeah, Page of Cups, being childlike in your emotions, is a much more of a mixed bag. It's like, it's great because you're wee. It's bad because you're wee. Oh no!
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, so anyway, that's your reading right there. Is you're the shit, but your TE and FI both took the day off. Okay, who else wanted a reading? Before we go, 'cause we gotta get out of here to get out of the cleaning lady's way, and because I'm just, it makes Rachel very agitated.
No, I'm actually not. I'm really not agitated right now. Take your time. I think we should take our time.
I mean, just being here makes you agitated. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that what I'm doing is making you agitated.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm saying just
Not.
this house is making you agitated right now when it's full of people who aren't us.
That's so selfish.
How could that possibly be selfish? To not want strangers inside of your own house. Oh, you selfish, selfish bitch, you. Who's this one? Who is the next person? Anybody else wanted these?
And I saw CJ wanted one, but I don't know if there was
CJ.
anyone in.
This is for you then. CJ, your first card is Strength. You, today, are feeling just like my dead parents. Congratulations. It means, hey, CJ, you just got to believe in yourself. You got the strength inside.
You got the strength inside.
You're also very just and true. You gotta be a king to believe. You got this card. Justice.
Ooh,
Justice, God damn it.
Justice.
Justice before mercy, I say.
Justice before mercy.
Instant life imprisonment for all crimes. And your third card is the Ace of Pentacles.
Oh, you've got money ideas.
Here's a terrible, terrible card for you. Anticipate should never get this card. I'm so sorry. All the strength and justice in the world won't save you from your own horrible idea. You know what I should use? Invest a lot of money right now in Bitcoin. Because everybody else is going, it just keeps going lower and lower and lower. But I like to be different than everybody else. That's why I think now is a good time to buy Bitcoin. Are you saying Nexus 6 that my 3-card tarot reading of you was not entirely accurate?
Oh.
I mean, it more accurately described you than an entire encyclopedia series about nothing but you. That's how exact my tarot readings are. I'm not like Lou. Lou says, take what resonates, just leave the rest behind. No, I'm the opposite. I say, you take it all. I don't care how much it resonates with you. You suck it and you like it. I'm that kind of tarotologist, you know. I'm different. That's why people don't hire me to do tarot. They hire Lou.
No, you're good.
Yeah, but you see, I'm not going to give them those kind of nice words that Lou's going to give them. I'm not going to be like, oh, just take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Be like, if you agree with me, you're right. If you don't, you're wrong, and you need to change how your wrongness into correctness.
I don't know if this is too much to ask, but I'm supposed to be getting a package today.
That is too much to ask. You horrible, horrible man. How dare you get a package today? Did you get permission from me in advance to receive a package today?
Sorry, Disney, I didn't.
What? I'll get ready to bring it. I just gotta throw it right back in the guy. Take us all! Take it out of the machine and knock us out of this package. So you're wondering, like, what are we gonna do about your package, right? I'll just ask the cleaning ladies to bring it inside.
Okay.
And to just
That's
put
great.
it somewhere in here.
Yeah.
I'm old school, Fly Guy. I'm so old school that I interpret all tarot readings to mean you're going to die soon. It doesn't matter what cards you get. My message is always the same. Doom! Soon death will come and seize you. I deal with that to show them what death will look like. I like to make sure when people receive a tarot reading from me, I'm operating on all possible learning modalities so that the visuals people get to see what I'm saying rather than listening to my words. There's this ridiculous debate critique. People run it as an AFK, which is in itself fucking ridiculous to even dream of there being such a thing. But, it basically says whichever team debates through the most different learning modalities should win the round. The hardest part of their debate case, like a little song, a little poem, a painting they made, shit like that. Ah, God. And it's, the whole critique is based on the fact that debate should be educational, right? And if you're going to be educational and justly educational, you have to be just in all the different learning modalities, etc. Except the debate is very specific learning modalities pulled out from all other learning modalities. So it's the most craziest, stupidest performance cave bullshit in the history of the world. basically like debate is information conveyance without bullshit. And their critique is the best way to just convey information without bullshit is to add a lot of bullshit. The thing is, obviously when you use language, it's not always just to convey information. We use it for lots of reasons. But debate is about, it's what they call forensics. It's about accurately and correctly parsing information purely on those kind of grounds that can be accurately and correctly parsed, not on other grounds, right? And to say, well, what's wrong with it is that it doesn't evaluate what a good dancer you are. It's just the fucking stupidest critique ever. You know what's wrong with that debate round? It didn't include any dancing. You should lose because we danced during the debate round, whereas you guys didn't.
Yeah.
And the best debate rounds include a lot of dancing.
It's funny that Nexus. Wait, is it?
It's
how-
Nexus 6.
It is Nexus 6?
Yes,
Okay.
but he left out an S just to make it look like weird or something. I don't know.
Hi, Jeremiah Fix. Hey, this is Nexus 6. So it's interesting that you think that CJ is an ENFP because CJ thinks he's an ENFP, but.
Well, unfortunately, debate has a bad habit of using the word team in two different ways. People equivocate on the word all the time in debate. On a debate, team could be quite a large team. Like if you're the coach, your team is made of many teams of debaters. So, but real debate, it's either two-person versus two-person, or one person versus one person.
Good afternoon. How do you say that again?
Nexus 6?
No, C.
Oh, Acacia.
Acacia. Good afternoon, Acacia.
I think that tree might be from Australia.
Thank you, Acacia. I don't know why. Every time I see it, I think ICI.
Yeah, and the thing is, policy debate, the most real of all real kinds of debate, is 2-on-2. And the reason is, in part because to debate properly, somebody needs to be doing the other half of the work while one person's speaking. So when I'm speaking, my partner needs to be flowing this shit, right? Needs to be flowing exactly what all my answers are to exactly what all their arguments are. LD is one-on-one. It's also real debate, but it's hard to do that, right? It's hard to flow properly if you're a debater. It's fine if you're the judge. I can flow policy LD equally the same, right? I'm the judge. I don't have to do any talking. But if you're the debater, it's really hard to flow an LD round, because how are you flowing when you're talking? But that's why you get proportionally more prep time in LD, because you're purportedly flowing it in advance before you talk. But it's just like, oh God, just fucking give me a partner already. Okay, so I'm gonna end this now.
Yeah, I don't think that you're TI polar.
How many rounds are there in a debate
That's a good
tournament?
question.
So usually there's 5 or 6 preliminary rounds. It depends on the tournament. Sometimes they do 5, sometimes they do 6. And if they do 6, 4 and 2 usually breaks. If they do 5, 4 and 1 breaks, and then they'll break a couple of 3-2s, you know? Obviously 5-0 breaks. 6-0 breaks, 5-0 breaks. I mean 5-1 breaks and 4-2 breaks usually in 6-round prelim tournaments. And then break rounds are, so if you basically after those 6 preliminary rounds, let's say it's a 6-round tournament, you have a record that's worse than 4 and 2, then you're definitely not going to get into the what are called break rounds, which are basically like elimination rounds. Because in the prelims, if you lose the first round, you still get to debate 5 more times, right? You're not out of the tournament or anything. And you could still even win the tournament. You could lose the first 2 rounds in a 6-round prelim tournament and still win the whole tournament, potentially. But you can't lose in break rounds because then you're eliminated. So, then when they do breaks, they seed them like they try to get 32 or 16 or 64, depending on how big the tournament is, right? So they can seed them like 16 versus 1, 15 versus 2. And the tournament will specify what their break rules are and shit all ahead of time. And what all the tiebreakers are and everything like that. So that nobody can argue those things. But in TOZ, people still do that. Half a tournament of champions is the debaters debating things. Half a tournament of champions is the coaches objecting and contesting things. Objecting to things and contesting them. Contesting round results. Demanding whatever, you know? It's fucking ridiculous. That's why the best teams never win TOC. The best teams win in NFL Nats. Not NFL anymore, what do they call it? NSDA Nats. The best teams win at NSDA Nats. But the best teams do not win at TOC. The most annoying coaches win at TOC. I don't coach like that. I don't go fucking contest rounds and shit. Unless I have a really fucking good reason. Your kids are always going to tell you, you should go complain, you should go contest that round. Like, I didn't watch it, but I'm sure you did something stupid. It's too easy to lose a debate round for me to go contest it unless I'm very convinced something very shady were going on. All you gotta do is drop a given thing that you shouldn't have dropped, or double bind yourself with the wrong response, or there's so many different ways you could lose a debate round that I don't trust my kids when they tell me they got robbed, really, you know? Anyway, but yeah, like, there's nothing that is more transparent a process than a debate tournament, because all the coaches want to see everything, want to know why. It's so transparent and so fair that in real debate tournaments that matter, they do judge prefs. So the debaters ahead of time read all the paradigms of all the judges, which they have to put up there. This is how I judge. And then they rank the judges they want. Let's say there are 100 judges, 1 to 100. And then in the rounds, if you get a judge who's your 50th ranked judge, you'll go up against somebody else who is also their 50th approximately ranked judge, so that nobody has a judge advantage. That's how fucking fair the shit is, right? It is so strenuously transparent and fair. It's fucking ridiculous. It's amazing. It's a wonderful, wonderful thing. Yeah, it's the absolute pinnacle of education. Nothing in education comes close to debate. It's such an amazing paradigm for teaching. It's the only kind of teaching that I can really get behind. You know, because it's a sport, it's coaching, but it's coaching people to be smart. It's really an amazing, amazing thing. I have nothing but the utmost respect and admiration for the field. I'm lazy. It's hard work. If you want to win, you have to work hard. I'm too lazy for that these days, but you gotta push your kids hard, because you gotta get your kids to learn shit that if you asked anybody, can this group of 5th graders learn what Eric's about to teach them? Everybody would say, there is 0 chance in hell those 5th graders can learn that stuff. That's way too advanced for them. It's not way too advanced for them. It's just other people aren't nearly as good at teaching children as I am. I am so much better at teaching children than they are. Because you just got to say it a million different ways, right? One of those ways, a million different examples, a million different explanations of the same thing. One of those is going to hit that kid, and they're going to get it.
Well, that's good. That's a good teacher. That's a good teacher. Most teachers are like, this is how I think, this is my way, this is how I want it done.
Well, that's the thing is, you can't teach like that as a debate coach, right?
No.
Because it actually matters to me whether the child learns, not just to the child's parents, right? Like, I don't want to hear any of your fucking excuses. You children are making me lose. That's not acceptable. You're just little children, and you little children are making me lose? No. Not gonna happen, you motherfuckers. You're gonna learn this shit. So I'm a much better teacher as a debate coach than I ever am as a classroom teacher, because as a classroom teacher, of course, I don't care at all whether they learn. I'm annoyed that I have to do anything other than teach to the very top of the class. Even then, it's like, if I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing as an English teacher, nobody, except incredibly wrong ESTJs, cares about these English papers I'm supposed to be assigning. I was like, you got the administration leaning on you. Assign more essays on literature, because parents are leaning on them. We want our kids to write more. Okay, yeah, and then I go, okay, I'll sign some freaking more essays. I'll sign this essay. And then I'd get a big pile of essays. And I wouldn't even read them. I wouldn't even look at them. I would just leave them on my desk, feeling increasing dread about the massively growing stack of papers I was supposed to grade.
Feeling.
You know?
Oh.
And then sometimes I just go through them and kind of just look, quick flip, and give her a higher grade than it deserved so that people wouldn't complain, you know? Or sometimes I just throw them all in the trash can. Whatever happened with our assignment now? Oh.
Whatever happened to her assignment?
That was an ungraded assignment. Maybe I should have told you that before I signed it, I guess, but turned out that was an ungraded assignment. That's a good way to say it. I threw all of your essays away in this dumpster. I just couldn't stand looking at them anymore on my desk. Just piling up, making me feel bad.
That is not a fun feeling.
Well, how does the scoring work? Ideally, you have a 5-judge panel. And in like finals, semifinals in some tournaments, but semifinals and finals in good tournaments, they've got 5-judge panels. And the way it's scored is all the judges flow the round the same as the debaters, right? So everybody's flow should look the same. These are the affirmations, arguments. These are the negations, rebuttals. These down here are the negations, arguments that are not rebuttals. These are the asked answers to these rebuttals, etc. And then over here is framework, right? So the thing is, if you had everybody perfect, all the flows would look exactly the same. And the correct warrants would be written down. That's the crucial thing, though, right? Because if you write down all the correct warrants and you adhere to the framework as indicated, then it should be very clear in almost every good debate round who won and why. The way it's done at the end of the round with those panels is they go down and each judge says, I voted for Mia and here's why. And then the second judge, Mia. And then in good tournaments, then the judges have to sit there and answer questions the debaters ask about their RFTs. So in other words, you got to say who you voted for, why, to the people who are in front of you, and be prepared to answer questions when they challenge your why. Of course, it's pretty rare, actually, you get a 3-2 and a 5-judge panel. It's almost always 4-1 or 5-0. Because if you're in rounds that have 5-judge panels, they always put the best judges there, right? They'd always try to save me, keep me clean for out rounds when I judged. So, because you can't judge the same people twice in a tournament. So it's like they always try to put me with teams they anticipated to be shitty in the early rounds, in the prelims, so that I would be clean for out round kids, so I could judge out rounds. Because I was known as a fantastic judge, correctly. I mean, everybody who ever heard my RFDs, parents, kids, etc., I've frequently heard, like, you're the best judge I've ever had. The thing is, the best judges are always debaters and debate coaches. They're the only possible people who really can judge. And the better you are at it, the better a judge you're likely to be. Pretty directly proportional. But my explanations were always very cogent. Well, I felt he clearly won the prefer my framework argument, and under his framework, these things are defined accordingly, And thus, this means that, and that's why even though you won these points, it doesn't matter because they have no impact under his framework and you didn't successfully argue to prefer your framework enough even to make it a wash. So I have to prefer his, and under his framework, you got no meaningful impacts. So I got to vote for him. Now that's an RFD a kid can take to the bank, right? They can go, okay, next round, I've got to make sure that I make framework at least a wash. Because if I'm losing framework to that kind of case anyway, I lose all of my impacts. They learn something from that, right? I mean, all debate coaches are also judges. They don't necessarily always judge, but they always sometimes judge. In our dream world, we get to be middle school debate coaches and get high school debaters to judge those rounds. They are so much better than parents, it's ridiculous. They are better than lawyer parents. They are better than judge parents at judging debate rounds. High school debaters. You get a room full of professors and doctors and whatever the fuck you want, 50-year-old people, right? Experts in their fields, whatever. High school debaters will blow them out of the water when it comes to judging a debate round by a billion miles. One of the worst things I've ever witnessed was fucking this guy who worked for JPL and was obviously like a science test guy or whatever, vote for the wrong team because he was explaining why the affirmations resolution was wrong with stuff that nobody said in the round. So he's like, well, for my expertise, I know why we should negate this resolution. It's because blah, 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 blah. He explained a bunch of shit, right? And that's why he voted nay. Even though the AF team blew the nay team out of the water. I was so furious. Oh my God. That was a 3-judge panel, and I was a squirrel judge. The other lady, she got it wrong because she just wasn't qualified to get it right. She didn't get the fact that in that particular round, the fact that the other team won framework didn't matter because this team's impacted under both frameworks. And so she thought she knew just enough to be wrong. It's like she had learned, hey, if somebody wins framework, that cascades down. Well, you have to evaluate. And the people say, well, it doesn't. We concede framework because our impacts are equally valid under either framework. But she heard I concede framework and voted for the other team. Okay, I get that. Growing pains as a judge. Fair, fine. Okay, she got it wrong. But that other guy who's voting for the team because entirely on his own reasoning as to which side of the resolution is correct, that guy needs to have multiple pineapples shoved up his ass.
Yeah. That was bad.
I wrote a big long thing on the back of this thing after I found out the decision saying, you were so fucking robbed. I am so sorry you lost this round to the team you should have won it. It was finals. And in fact, the kid ended up calling me. I put my phone number. I said, call me if you want to talk to me about this because this is the most horrible travesty I've ever seen. And the kid did end up calling me. And I talked to him. I was like, yeah, man, I am so sorry that happened to you.
Yeah, I remember that.
You were here with me. Huh. Cool. God, that round made me mad.
That was bad.
It's ridiculous because it's making me cry. Those debaters got robbed by that idiot years ago. Thinking about it right now is making me cry. That's how much I care about being right. It's like, don't be wrong so badly like that. It's horrible. Those poor kids totally won that tournament. Any sane human being would have known that they won that tournament. Anyway, we got to go to the hotel. So we'll see y'all later. Thanks for being here. We love you all 7 of you. And don't forget to eat plenty of cheese.
Yeah.